The text from Mom arrived while I was finalizing the resort acquisition paperwork. Diana, given recent events, we think it's best if you don't come to Villa Bella this summer. The family needs time to heal. Recent events, that is what they called it. Exposing Uncle Robert's embezzlement from the family foundation. Apparently, stealing millions from charity was forgivable, but reporting it was an unforgivable breach of family loyalty. Miss Reynolds? My lawyer, Kate, looked up from her stack of documents. The final purchase agreement for Bella Cove Resort is ready for your signature. I smiled, thinking of my family's precious Villa Bella, their luxury vacation home nestled in the resort's most exclusive section. The villa they had just banned me from. The villa that, in about 10 minutes, would technically be my property. How long until the transfer is complete? I asked, signing the papers with a flourish. The resort will be yours by close of business today, Kate confirmed, including all private villas and restricted access protocols. I picked up my phone, looking at Mom's text again. For 20 years, Villa Bella had been the center of our family's universe. Every summer, every major holiday, every celebration happened there. Being banned from it was meant to be my punishment. Instead, it had become my opportunity. Send the notification letters to all villa owners, I told Kate. Effective immediately. All access cards and security protocols are being updated for safety reasons. Including your family's cards? She asked. Especially my family's cards, I replied. My phone buzzed again, this time with a message from my sister Victoria. Mom told you about Villa Bella, right? It is for the best after what you did to Uncle Robert. What I did? I typed back. You mean reporting his theft from children's charities? Someone had to show some integrity. It was just creative accounting. She protested. Now he might go to jail. I set my phone down. Creative accounting, that is what they called stealing from sick kids, but I was the villain for exposing it. My assistant appeared with a tablet. The resort staff is ready for the ownership transition announcement, and your family just arrived at Villa Bella for their annual summer stay. Perfect timing, I said. Have security begin the access card updates. Start with Villa Bella. I stood at my office window, imagining the scene about to unfold. Mom, Dad, Victoria, and Uncle Robert arriving at their precious villa with all their designer luggage, only to find their cards didn't work. I stood by my office window, watching the sunset reflect off the glass of the high-rises, but my mind was miles away at the coast. My phone started ringing. It was Dad this time. I let it go to voicemail. The notification letters have been sent, Kate announced. They should receive them within the hour. I nodded, picking up my bag. Have my jet ready. I think it is time I paid a visit to Bella Cove Resort. To see your family? She asked. No. I smiled. To see my property. Sometimes being banned from a place just means you need to buy it. And sometimes family loyalty needs a lesson in consequences. I headed for the elevator, already imagining their faces when they realized who their new landlord was. After all, summer vacation was about to get very interesting. Oh, and Kate, I called back, make sure Uncle Robert's notification letter includes a reminder about the resort's zero-tolerance policy for financial fraud. It was time to show them exactly what happened when they chose the wrong side of integrity. The scene at Bella Cove Resort was exactly as I had imagined. My family stood in the lobby, surrounded by their mountain of Louis Vuitton luggage, while the newly informed staff tried to explain the situation. What do you mean our cards do not work? Dad demanded, his face turning that special shade of red reserved for when things didn't go his way. Do you know who we are? Yes, Mr. Reynolds. The manager replied calmly, having been thoroughly briefed. And the new owner has instructed us to update all security protocols. No exceptions. New owner? Victoria screeched. Since when does Bella Cove have a new owner? Right on cue. A staff member appeared with their notification letters. I watched from the mezzanine above as they tore open the envelopes. Mom read it first, her face going pale. This has to be a mistake. What? Uncle Robert grabbed the letter. Reynolds Global Holdings. That is not. It cannot be. Looking for someone? I called down, making my entrance. They all looked up, recognition and horror dawning on their faces. Diana, Victoria whispered. You bought the resort? All of it, I confirmed, descending the grand staircase. Every villa, every amenity, every square inch, including your precious Villa Bella. Dad stepped forward, attempting his usual businessman swagger. Now see here, young lady. No, you see here, I cut him off. This is my resort now. and I have some new policies to implement. I signaled to the manager, who began distributing a new set of documents to my stunned family members. These are the updated villa ownership agreements, I explained, my voice echoing in the marble lobby. You will find the terms have changed significantly. For instance, there is now a strict ethical conduct clause. Any resident found engaging in financial fraud, I looked pointedly at Uncle Robert, will face immediate eviction. You cannot do this, Mom protested, clutching her pearls. Villa Bella has been in our family for 20 years, and now it is in my part of the family. I smiled. The part you banned for having actual morals. My phone buzzed in my pocket. It was likely Victoria's husband calling to complain. He had been Uncle Robert's silent accomplice in the charity scheme, though they didn't know I had proof of that yet. Your access cards will be reactivated once you sign the new agreements, I continued, assuming you pass the background checks. Background checks? Uncle Robert went pale. 4 villa owners. Standard procedure, I said innocently. We would not want any criminals in our exclusive resort, would we? Victoria stepped forward, shifting her tactic from outrage to a desperate, sugary sweetness. Diana, sweetie, let us discuss this as a family. Like you discussed banning me? I raised an eyebrow. Or like you discussed covering up Uncle Robert's theft. The manager reappeared with more papers. Miss Reynolds, the villa reassignment documents are ready. Reassignment? Dad's voice cracked. What reassignment? Oh, didn't I mention? I smiled. Villa Bella is being converted into a residence for children from the charities Uncle Robert stole from. They will get to enjoy luxury vacations while their families receive proper medical care. The lobby fell silent. Even Victoria couldn't argue against that without looking like a monster. Your belongings will be moved to a standard suite, I continued, assuming you still want to stay, though the rates have changed significantly. I handed them a new price list, and Mom actually gasped at the numbers. This is highway robbery, Dad exploded. No, Dad, I countered. Highway robbery is stealing from sick children. This is just business. My phone buzzed again, this time with news that would make this even better. Oh, and Uncle Robert? I turned to him. The FBI agents waiting outside would like a word. Something about charity fraud. Uncle Robert stumbled backward, his eyes darting toward the glass doors of the lobby, searching for an exit that didn't exist. Don't bother, I said calmly, crossing my arms. I own all of those, too. Sometimes karma needs a luxury resort to make its point, and sometimes family loyalty belongs with the victims, not the perpetrators. I watched as the agents approached, the silver handcuffs glinting under the chandelier light, a sharp, metallic contrast to the designer labels my family wore like armor. As they led him away, the silence in the lobby was deafening. Dad looked at me, not with the pride of a father, but with the calculation of a man who had lost his best asset. You've destroyed this family, Diana. You've aired our dirty laundry for the world to see. I didn't air it, Dad. I corrected him. I just finally washed it. If you're worried about the family reputation, you should have been worried when your brother was buying a second yacht with money meant for pediatric ventilators. I turned to the manager. Please ensure their luggage is moved to the standard suites in the north wing, the ones overlooking the parking lot. Victoria shrieked. The parking lot? Diana, we have had the ocean view for 2 decades. I know, I replied, but I think you've had enough of the high life on someone else's dime. If you want the ocean, you can walk to the public beach. I handed them the final set of bills for the evening, the non-refundable security deposit for their new, smaller accommodations. Mom looked at the total and nearly fainted. This is more than a month's mortgage, she cried. Funny how that works, I mused, almost like karma charging rent. I turned to leave, then paused at the foot of the staircase. Welcome to the new Bella Cove Resort. Do enjoy your stay, however short it might be. I walked toward the elevators, the sound of my heels clicking on the marble like a countdown. Their faces were priceless, frozen in a mixture of shock, greed, and the sudden realization that their golden child was no longer providing the gold. I had spent my life being the difficult one because I wouldn't stay quiet. Now I was the one holding the keys to the kingdom they thought they owned. As the elevator doors closed, I saw Victoria already frantically typing on her phone, likely trying to find a lawyer. She didn't realize yet that the best lawyers in the city were already on my payroll. It wasn't just about the money. It was about the fact that they had tried to exile me for being honest. They wanted me gone so they could continue their comfortable, thieving lives in peace. Instead, I had made myself their landlord, their judge, and their wake-up call, all before dinner was served. 1 month later, I sat in my new office overlooking Bella Cove's pristine beach, reviewing the massive changes we had implemented. The air in the resort felt different now. Lighter, more genuine. Uncle Robert was under house arrest awaiting trial, his luxury lifestyle reduced to an ankle monitor and a legal defense fund that was rapidly evaporating. The first group of children from the affected charities had arrived at Villa Bella that morning. Their laughter, loud and uninhibited, carried across the resort grounds, replacing the stiff, pretentious silence that used to hang over the property. "Miss Reynolds?" My assistant entered with the morning reports. "Your sister Victoria is requesting another meeting, her 7th this week, and your parents have sent yet another formal appeal about the villa reassignment. They are claiming emotional distress." I leaned back in my chair, looking at the vibrant playground equipment that now stood where Mom's prized, off-limits rose bushes used to be. "How are they enjoying their standard suite?" I asked. "They have complained about the size, the humidity, the lack of a private butler, and especially the fact that they can see the children playing at Villa Bella from their balcony," she replied. I smiled. "Good. It is important they have a front-row seat to the good their money is finally doing. Remind them that the suite rates are due weekly, and we have a zero-tolerance policy for late payments. In my resort, everyone follows the rules, even the people who used to make them." My phone buzzed with a text from Victoria. "This is cruel, Diana." Mom cried when she saw those kids playing in her garden. "You're acting like a stranger." I didn't hesitate before typing back. "You mean the garden she banned me from? The one paid for with stolen charity money? Those kids deserve that grass more than she ever did. If she's crying, tell her to try some of that quote zero on her tear ducts." The resort manager appeared at the door with more updates. "The charity fundraiser gala is confirmed for next weekend, Miss Reynolds. Several major donors are attending specifically because they heard about the new Children's Hope Center. It seems your reputation for integrity is doing wonders for our bookings." "Perfect," I said. I pulled up the guest list on my screen. "Make sure my family receives invitations. Give them front row seats. I want them to watch as the community celebrates the end of the era they tried so hard to protect. They might not be able to afford the ticket price," the manager noted, checking their outstanding balance. "The new suite rates have stretched their budget quite thin." "That is fine," I mused, looking out at the turquoise water. "We will waive the entry fee for them. Think of it as a gift. It is important they see what happens when wealth is actually used to build something instead of just hiding secrets." My phone rang again. "Dad, trying for the 10th time today." This time I decided to answer. "Diana." Dad's voice boomed through the speaker, though it lacked the terrifying authority it once held. "We need to talk about this situation. This has gone far enough. The family name is being dragged through the mud because of your theatrics." "Which situation, Dad?" I asked, spinning my chair to watch a group of kids splashing in the pool below. "The one where you tried to exile me for exposing a crime, or the one where I turned your exclusive playground into a place that actually matters?" "We can make a deal," he offered, his tone shifting to a desperate plea. "Your uncle is willing to make restitution. We can move back into the villa, and you can keep the rest of the resort. We'll even issue a public statement supporting your charity work." "He is only willing to make restitution because he got caught, I cut him off, and you're only offering support because you've realized I hold the purse strings. You're all living with the consequences now. Tell me, Dad, how does it feel to be on the other side of exclusion?" He went silent, and I hung up before he could find another hollow excuse. I walked down to Villa Bella for a final inspection. The transformation was breathtaking. Where there had once been cold, pretentious artwork and designer furniture too expensive to actually sit on, there were now bright colors, soft rugs, and comfortable spaces meant for living. The garden Mom had been so precious about, the one she used to patrol to ensure not a single petal was out of place, was now filled with the joyous chaos of a playground. "Miss Reynolds," a small voice called out. It was Sarah, a 7-year-old girl receiving treatment from one of the charities Uncle Robert had defrauded. She ran up to me, her eyes wide with wonder. "Thank you for letting us stay here. It's the prettiest place I've ever seen." I knelt down to her level, tucking a stray hair behind her ear. "This is your home now, Sarah, for as long as you and your friends need it." From the corner of my eye, I saw my family watching from their cramped north wing balcony. Victoria was filming with her phone, likely trying to gather evidence of my cruelty for her social circles, but no one was listening to her anymore. The world had seen the truth. Send them their final weekly bill, I told my assistant as I walked back toward the lobby. And add a note. All suite payments from the Reynolds family are being donated directly to the Children's Medical Fund. They are finally contributing to the cause, whether they like it or not. As I passed the entrance, I stopped to look at the new sign being etched into the stone. Bella Cove, Children's Hope Center, where luxury meets love. Below it, in smaller, elegant letters, it read, Built on integrity. I had lost a family of blood, but I had gained a family of purpose. Looking out over my resort, my weapon of karmic justice, I knew I had made the right choice. Sometimes, the only way to fix a legacy is to tear it down and build something honest in its place.